All right, here we go. So let's look at subtraction of decimals and the strategies we can use there. Let's do the standard algorithm first. Again, we are not lining up our decimal. We are lining up units. So we're lining up hundreds with hundreds, tenths with tenths, ones by one, and by default the decimal just happens to go where it's supposed to go. Again, a lot of teachers will say to put a 0 there. You ungroup a 3, you get a 2, you give this guy 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. Can't take 9 from 2, you ungroup your 3, you give this guy 10, 12 minus 9 is 3, and then that is a 2, and the decimal comes down so that your units stay where they're at, okay? All right, so let's look at what's going on there with base 10 blocks. Remember, you only do the first. Again, I look at both to decide what my unit is. I always like my single to be the smallest unit that I need in the problem. And in this problem, I don't have any thousands, but I do have hundreds. So I'm going to let this guy be hundreds and then go forward from there. All right, but remember, you only draw the first picture. So if these guys are hundreds, it might help some of you to then, kind of think about what's ahead of that. So longs would be what? Tenths, and then flats are going to be our whole this time. So if these are hundreds, if I get 10 of these, I get a long, that would be a tenth. If I get 10 of those, it'd make a flat, which is going to be my whole. So sometimes it might help you to make the whole list instead of just the tiny guy. All right, we only draw the first picture, and then we're going to take from it. This guy does not have any hundreds, so we don't need any of these guys. This guy has 3 tenths, so I'm going to draw 3 longs. I think I need a different pencil here. Let me grab another one. Hopefully I can find one with some line. All right, and then again, my wholes are going to be flats this time. Now, could I have let these guys be longs and flats and cubes? Yeah, I could. I always kind of like my singles to be the littlest place value needed in the problem. So that's just kind of what I do. That way you don't usually run out of shapes. Okay, so you have the first one that I can see my 4.3 or my 4 3/10. Okay, I want to take away 8 singles. I don't have 8 singles. So I'm going to ungroup. And when I ungroup that guy, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 singles. Okay. All right. So now I can take away 8 of them. So I'm going to take away these 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. And those guys are just going to get, taken away. I took them away. All right. Now I want to take away 9 longs, okay? So again, I don't have 9 longs. So I'm going to ungroup. And then I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, don't confuse that with that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's my 10 new ones. And I want to take 9 away. So I'm going to take 9 away. So I'm going to take these 4 away and these 5 away. Just ditch those. Okay, and then that's what's left. And then I want to take away 1 whole. So I'm just going to take this guy away right here. He's going away. All right, I'm taking him away. All right, so then, oh, sorry, there was 4 of these, wasn't there? Shoot. All right, I need to draw another flat. You guys are like, Julie, what were you doing? Yeah. It should have been 4.3. So I needed 4 of these guys before I started taking things away. That makes a little more sense. All right, so when I'm done, I have to count what's left, right? So I have these guys here. Let's see, I have these guys here, but don't forget this one's still there as well. And then I have these. When you have the correct number to start with, it does help. All right, so what's my answer? Well, I have, 2 flats, I have 3 longs, and 2 singles. And again, that could be a lot of numbers. That could be 232. That could be 2.32. It could be 0.000232. It can be lots of numbers. So we have to go back to our original place value. The singles are in the hundreds. So this guy have to be in the hundreds, okay, because I have 3 singles. My longs are in the tenths. So I have to put the decimal here so that my singles are worth hundreds and my 3 is worth tenths, and then of course my 2 are whole numbers. So you got to go back to your original to kind of see what to do there. All right, so remember, you draw the first one correctly, like having 4 would have been a good idea, and then you ungroup, and then take away, and you should get that. All right, so let's look at other strategies, like some of our kind of alternative methods here. All right, so I mean, with subtraction, we have lots of ideas here. I don't know, this kind of looks nice to round. So I might round with compensation. So I am going to subtract 2. So if you think of like $4.30 minus 2, that's, you know, pretty easy, $2.30, right? And so I'm just going to subtract the 2 and get 2.3. Now, again, with subtraction, you have to think, did I subtract enough or too much? I subtracted 2. I was only supposed to subtract like $1.98. So I subtracted too much. So if I subtracted too much, I need to add in, what, 2 pennies, because I rounded up by 2 pennies so that I subtracted too much. I need to get those 2 pennies back. So 2.32 or 2 32/100ths. Okay. So thinking about money, like adding on to make $2, you know, can help. So let's do adding on since I just mentioned that. All right. So we're at we're at 198. All right. And we want to build up to 4.3. All right. So again, that 2 pennies, adding that on to get up to $2 is huge. And then a kid might add, what, if they're at $2, right there, if that 2, maybe $2 or just the number 2, then they're like, ooh, I need to go up another 2 to get to 4. And then I need either 0.3 or if they think of money, like 30 cents. All right. So I have $2.32, or you could think of the number 2 with a 3 in the tens position and a 2 in the hundreds position. So I still gonna get the same number either way. So this is adding on or adding up. This is rounding with compensation. Let's see, what else could I do? What about decomposition? Does that help at all? I don't know. Let's see if it does. Actually, I might decompose this into a 2, a 1, another 1, and a 0.3. Is that all right? Because that adds up to 4.3. So I have a 2, a 1, and then 0.3. And then this is all subtraction. So that's all like getting taken away. So minus 1 and minus, what, 98 cents? Okay, if you think in terms of money. Again, putting it in context usually does help. All right, is everyone okay that this dollar that I owe and this dollar that I have cancel out? And then this dollar and the 98 cents that I owe, or the 0.98, would give me what? When I combine those, I would have what? A positive 0.02 left. So then I can combine these. I have 2.3, and then that's in the hundreds position. So I have 2.32. So that would work. Let's see. I mean, I'm sure there's tons. We could shift both. We haven't tried that. Let's go up here and try shifting both. Let's see. So I have 4.3 minus what? 1.98. Okay. So let's shift both. We kind of did the adding on, but we didn't do this one. So if I'm at 1.98 and my goal is to get to 4.3. All right. So we're going to shift this up by 0.02. So this guy's going up 0.02 or 200ths. We shoved it up. So that means we have to shove this guy up the same distance. So I'm going to move this guy up 0.02 or 200ths as well. So if I move that up, that would be 0.32, because again, that's in the hundreds position. So I'm just shifting it in the hundreds position. All right. So, I mean, then it's kind of like, okay, so now how did that help me? Well, again, now I have these two numbers to subtract, right? Because I'm trying to find the distance. So this distance is the same as this distance. So 4.32 minus 2, you know, you could probably, you know, that might be like a mental math problem there. So if you shove them both up by 0.02, or basically 2 pennies, then the problem becomes $4.32 minus $2. All right, and that you maybe can do in your head. So I don't know, all those strategies that we learned for whole numbers still work. So there's some options for subtraction, and you know, you might think of other methods that you think, oh, that would maybe work better. That could be. All right, take care. I hope this helps. Bye-bye.